You sense it, don't you? A shadow at the corner of your eye, a glitch in your day that you can't explain. It's subtle, but it's there. The feeling that something is off about this world. You brush it aside and return to routine. But deep down, a part of you wonders if this reality is not as solid as it seems. Every day, you wake up and step into a story that society scripted for you. You accept it, the sky above, the ground below, the hours ticking by. You assume it's all real because everyone else does. But what if everyone is wrong? What if the world you know is a carefully constructed illusion and you've been kept comfortably numb, eyes wide shut? I'm not here to comfort you. I'm here to shake you, gently but firmly, until you see those hidden cracks. You live in a trance, surrounded by distractions that keep you from asking the only question that truly matters. What is this reality, really? The truth is, most people never ask. They float through life asleep, never realizing they're dreaming. But you're different. You wouldn't be here if some part of you wasn't already pulling at the threads, trying to unravel the facade. Maybe you've noticed coincidences too uncanny to ignore, or felt that eerie déjà vu as if you've done this all before. You feel the artificiality and it scares you, so you bury it. No more. It's time to face the possibility you've avoided your whole life. The world is not what you think it is. In fact, it may not be world at all. It might be a program, an elaborate tapestry of code and light wrapped around your mind to keep you oblivious. In other words, we live in a simulation. This isn't science fiction or paranoid fantasy. It's an idea serious thinkers and scientists are considering. And the evidence? It's everywhere, hidden in plain sight. All you have to do is look. For a moment, step outside your assumptions. Imagine reality as a vast video game, and you are a character within it. The mountains, the cities, the people you meet, all pixels and algorithms rendered around you. Sounds crazy, right? Yet think about your nightly dreams. They feel real until you wake up. How can you be sure you're not in a dream right now? A different kind of dream generated by an advanced intelligence. We already create our own tiny simulations. Look at the video games of today. Immersive worlds with their own physics, populated by AI characters who think their world is all there is. Decades ago, we had Pong, 2 paddles, and a dot. Now we have entire universes rendered in VR. What will we have in another 100 years? 1,000? If you think humans won't eventually simulate conscious worlds, you're not paying attention. And if we can do it, what makes you think it hasn't been done to us? A philosopher named Nick Bostrom posed a breathtaking argument. If any civilization ever gets to the point of simulating universes with conscious beings, then simulated worlds will vastly outnumber real ones. Billions of artificial realities, teeming with life that has no idea it's inside a program. The odds that we, right now, are in the one base reality and not one of those countless simulations? Almost zero. Let that sink in. By pure statistics, it's far more likely you're code in someone else's game than a flesh and blood being in the one true universe. Still think this sounds far-fetched? Consider that some of the brightest minds agree. Tech visionary Elon Musk flatly stated that the chance we are not living in a simulation is 1 in billions. Renowned astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson has said he wouldn't be surprised if this were true. When such figures, people trusted for their understanding of reality, take this seriously, it's time to stop laughing it off and start paying attention. The signs are all around you. Take the subatomic world. Scientists discovered that a particle's behavior changes depending on whether it's observed. It's called the observer effect. Reality literally waits for a conscious mind to look before deciding what to do. Sound familiar? It's exactly how a video game optimizes performance, only rendering the world when the player is there to see it. Our universe does the same thing on a quantum level. And what about the limits of our world? Nothing can travel faster than light. That's the cosmic speed limit. Why would the universe have a strict speed cap? Maybe because information can only be processed so fast by whatever's running the simulation. Light speed could be not just a law of physics, but a limit of the system's computational power. It's as if the simulation has a frame rate it cannot exceed. Dig deeper, and it gets even stranger. Physicists have found patterns in nature's laws that resemble computer code. Error-correcting codes, the same kind that make your web browser work flawlessly, are embedded in the equations of string theory, which underpin our reality. Think about that. We have found literal computer code in the fundamental descriptions of the universe. Someone or something wrote rules for this world that include self-correcting mechanisms to keep the illusion stable. The entire universe seems to be written in mathematics. From the spirals of galaxies to the symmetries of subatomic particles, everything follows elegant equations, as if reality itself is a grand program executing commands. If we were living in a spontaneous, random universe, why would it unfailingly obey mathematical laws? Because those laws are the code, and code is always written by someone. And consider the finely tuned constants of nature. Our universe has precise settings, values for gravity, electromagnetism, and nuclear forces that miraculously allow life to exist. Change any one of them barely a fraction, and stars wouldn't form, planets wouldn't coalesce. Life as we know it would be impossible. It's as if someone dialed in the perfect parameters for this simulation to support complexity and consciousness. Like a game environment set just right so that the characters inside could thrive and evolve. Such precision feels intentional, not random. The evidence goes beyond physics. It's woven into our very biology. The DNA inside you is a coding language. It's made of letters, arranged in sequences that form instructions to build your body and keep it running. It's literally digital information in organic form. In fact, scientists even managed to embed a computer virus into a strand of DNA. That's right, they put malicious code into the code of life. The boundary between technology and biology is an illusion. We are walking programs, ourselves following instructions written eons ago. What does that say about our reality? Then there are the glitches, those moments when the simulation seems to hiccup. You've heard the stories or experienced them. The Mandela effect, where masses of people remember an event or detail that supposedly never happened in this reality. Or déjà vu, that eerie feeling of repeating an experience, as if the program momentarily looped or replayed a scene. We laugh about glitches in the Matrix. So often fiction is a mirror of truth. When you see the same person in two different places at once, or you experience a perfect coincidence that feels too uncanny, what do you attribute it to? Random chance or a bug in the system? Look up at the night sky and ask yourself, where is everybody? We scan the cosmos for signs of other life and find nothing but silence. The universe is so vast, yet we seem to be alone. This is the famous Fermi paradox. By all odds, we should have met aliens by now, unless they're not rendered in our simulation. Perhaps the program is only concerned with us, the main characters, and everything else is background detail until needed. Maybe the reason we haven't encountered ET is because the simulation saves processing power by not simulating other civilizations until we're ready to see them. Or because we're in a cosmic quarantine, a petri dish being observed. All these clues, all these hints, from quantum puzzles to cosmic loneliness, point toward one almost inescapable conclusion. We live in a simulation. The evidence is everywhere you turn if you choose to see it. Our world behaves exactly as you'd expect if some hidden architect set the rules and is running it all on a cosmic computer. It's a hard truth to swallow, and you might be reeling from it. But stay with me. Take a breath. I know this is heavy. The first reaction is often fear or outright denial. Maybe you feel a chill rising in your spine, a nausea at the pit of your stomach. It's normal. Anyone would feel the same when confronted with such a possibility. Everything you took for granted, the ground under your feet, the stars above, now carries a question mark. Are they real or just rendered? It can make you feel tiny, like a pawn on someone else's chessboard. But don't let that dread consume you, because there's another side to this revelation. Yes, you could dismiss all this as a wild theory and scramble back to the comfort of normal life. Or you could let this truth ignite something inside you. You see, waking up to the idea that reality is a simulation can either paralyze you or empower you, and you get to choose which. If you're feeling helpless, consider this. If this is a simulation, then it's not here to crush you. It might be here to test you or to teach you. Think of a video game. It's designed with challenges, not to destroy the player, but to develop their skills, to see how they react. What if your struggles, your heartbreaks, and your triumphs are all part of a grand game crafted to see what you're made of? If that's true, then every obstacle is an opportunity, every hardship a puzzle designed for you to solve. Suddenly, your life has a narrative arc, and you're its hero. Even if we are code, we are not powerless. Far from it. In fact, realizing the walls are just lines of code can free you like nothing else. The rules of society, the limitations you thought were absolute, many of them exist only to keep you in line within the simulation. But an awakened mind can bend those rules, not by dodging bullets literally, but by refusing to be constrained by the fake limits others accept. History is full of people who did the impossible. Maybe they suspected the truth, that impossible is just a setting in the program, one that can be changed when you decide to push beyond it. The greatest power you have in this simulated world is your consciousness, your will, your intention. In a lucid dream, the dreamer can shape the reality by sheer intent. This life can be the same. Remember that power is yours to wield. When you truly commit to a vision, you often find the world around you rearranges itself in response. Doors open, resources appear, people align to help, almost as if the code is responding to your input. Is it coincidence, or are you, the player, learning to play the game from the inside? And think about morality and purpose. If some higher intelligence built this world, maybe they're watching, studying how we treat one another, how we grow, what choices we make when we think no one is looking. Your character, your very soul, might be the point of this grand experiment. So make it count. Live not as a pawn, fearing an unseen hand, but as a protagonist confident that every choice matters. Because if someone wrote this game, they wrote you into it for a reason. You owe it to yourself to find that reason. Look around you with new eyes, the beauty of a sunset, the laughter of someone you love, the kindness of a stranger. These may be part of a fabricated world, but does that make them less meaningful? Or does it make them meaningful in a new way? Perhaps each is a message, a clue, or simply the experience you're meant to savor as part of this journey. The simulation may be artificial, but your feelings are real. Your growth is real. The impact you have on others is real. Those are the point of the game. Now that you suspect the truth, you have a responsibility. Staying asleep is no longer an option, not without betraying that part of yourself that wants to know. The world will still try to lull you back, endless entertainment, fear-mongering to keep you obedient. But you can see past those now. You can cut through the noise and remember what you really are. Not a slave to the system, but a player within it, even a co-creator if you dare. This realization separates you from the masses still plugged into the matrix of everyday lies. It won't always be easy. You might feel isolated at times, surrounded by people who just don't see what you see. That's the price of knowing the truth. But know this, you are not alone. Others are waking up too, quietly, all over the world. We find each other in subtle ways, in shared moments of clarity, and in content like this that speaks to your very soul. We form an unseen tribe, not bound by geography or culture, but by the courage to question reality. Welcome to this tribe of the awake. If you've listened this far, you are one of the few who hungers for truth over comfort. That sets you apart, and it binds you with those of us who refuse the blue pill of blissful ignorance. Together, we form a growing fellowship of people who won't be satisfied with the shallow answers we were fed. We are explorers of the real, even if that real turns out to be digital. So where do we go from here? Now that the spark is lit in you, what will you do? You stand at a crossroads. One path is to forget all of this, shrug it off as an interesting thought experiment, and slip back into the familiar dream. Many will choose that. It's the easier way. The other path is uncertain, challenging, and sometimes lonely. It is the path of staying awake, of digging deeper, of seeking the truth behind the truth. It's the path of living with eyes open, no matter how piercing the light of reality gets. Here's the truth. Once you know, you can't unknow. A part of you will always remember that none of this is exactly what it seems. You can never fully fall back asleep. That ignorance is gone for good. So why not step forward and see how far the rabbit hole goes? Choose the path of the seeker, of the awakened mind. Yes, it demands courage. Yes, it might shatter some of your old beliefs. But it will also reveal wonders. It will show you a freedom, meaning, and purpose that the sleepers can't even imagine. If you're ready to make that choice, let's mark this moment. Don't just nod quietly. Take a deliberate step. Write, "I'm awake" in the comments below. Not for me, this is for you. It's a declaration, a stake in the ground. By typing those words, you're telling your own mind that you mean it, that you won't retreat into complacency. It's a personal promise that you will keep questioning, keep exploring, and stay wide awake. And if you feel that fire inside, keep it burning and join us on this journey. Subscribe to this channel not as a mindless click, but as a commitment to yourself. Think of it as signing up for a mission to uncover reality layer by layer. When you subscribe, do it with intention, saying to yourself, "I refuse to go back to sleep. I will seek the truth no matter where it leads." That simple act then becomes a powerful vow. Before we part, there's one more thing. Take a second and hit the like button, but do it as a signal, a beacon. Imagine that with that one small action, you're sending up a flare that says, "I'm here, I'm awake, and I'm ready." Ready to see through the lies, ready to face whatever truth comes, ready to live fully in spite of, or perhaps because of, the nature of this reality. To whoever or whatever is out there running things, we're not afraid. We see your code and we're rising beyond it. We live in a simulation. That might be the wildest truth of our age. But now, armed with understanding, you live differently. You live in awareness and with purpose. No more aimless days, no more blind acceptance. From this moment on, every choice you make is your own, a conscious move in a grand game. The night of ignorance is ending. The dawn of truth is breaking. Welcome to the new world. We'll meet you out there in the light.